on the View today, Sunny Hostin, not Anderson, said that, I'm paraphrasing, of course, that black men are, well, she said every group should not vote for Donald Trump, but when she got to black men specifically, she called us crazy fanaticals for voting for Donald Trump. And not us, because I ain't voting for the nigga, but
the black
us,
people that do.
Black men that do. She called them crazy. When she just particularly softball admonished all the other groups. But black men, she called us crazy and all type of shit. But see, I don't think that was from a place of disrespect. I think that was from a place of reverence. That black men are knowledgeable. So to do that, it would have to be crazy. Like, you know exactly what you're giving up. That ain't from a place of disrespect. That's from you know better. You know better. You know what you're doing. You are intelligent. You are of an ilk that knows the ramifications of a person like him being in office for too long. So you are crazy for voting for that nigga. That's what I got from that. I didn't get disrespect at all.
I haven't seen the clip, but based on what you're saying, I can see that. But also, motherfuckers have been getting a little lippy at black men.
Black men, hey, black men ain't as feared as people tried to make it seem in the 90s.
Yeah, for a group that is essentially feared, our entire existence, we walk around as if we are the proprietors of evil.
And whipping posts at the same time.
We're treated as such, and also ain't nobody scared of us.
Right. That's what. Hey. I used to have to
and also do some.
I used to have to tell my old girl that I'm like, the ethic that you're trying to create about me, that I'm so scared that I be doing subversive shit, but I'm this monster that out in the street terrorizing everybody. Like, it doesn't coalesce. It doesn't gel. Either I'm fucking tough or I'm scary. Like, I ain't if I'm hiding it or I'm like, it didn't make sense. I fucking never could rectify that in my head.
Yeah, because it's like it's hard to be both of these things, especially to the extent that we're portrayed.
I think she got the clip up now.
Oh, okay. All right.
The point.
Pull that beautiful beam footage.
We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. This race will be too close.
Go back to the
because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell.
This is just everybody just dissing us. Go back to the beginning of her statement.
And MSNBC anchor Joy Reid.
We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. This race will be far too.
Oh, it's a montage.
Oh, yeah, it's a montage. That clip. Let me share my screen real quick. Let me show you. This Nina Turner had a response to it, and in her response, she actually shared the clip and she let it play in a little bit more fuller context than what was just shown just now. Even though that was crazy, still, but when you hear it around what else she said, it makes it stick out. Like, who the fuck you think you're talking to? Like, I don't know. I'm gonna play Nina Turner's part of it. Let me share quick. Here you go. Add this day. There we are. All right, here goes Nina's real quick.
Is The View. One of the hosts, Sunny, was in discussion with her colleagues around the table about what needs to happen during this 2024 presidential election cycle.
When we're looking at these polls and we're looking at who is voting for Trump, you've got 53% of white women that voted for him in 2020. We've got to reach those women. We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people. We've got to reach the Cuban men in Miami that overwhelmingly voted for Trump.
So she talked about the women and the Hispanic men. But when it was time to talk about Black men, she called them the crazy, ridiculous Black men. Yeah, you heard me right. The crazy, ridiculous Black men is truly outrageous. And in fact, it is dangerous. And there are connective tissues to how Black American men have been treated historically in this country. In other words, this.
I feel like that's a reach.
Okay.
I feel like that particular instance, that's a reach.
Okay. Now, when you hear it in context and in concert with all those other ones, like she was just going to play this now, you can play those now. Miss Madam Producer. When you hear it in context with those other sentiments, you still feel like it's a big nothing burger, or it's an overreaction, or is it a targeted approach to the mean Black men into doing the thing or acting like we're less than because we don't do the thing that you think we're supposed to do? Like, our opinion has to be dictated by how you feel.
America's Funniest Home Videos fucked up the world.
She said, I think you heard the ones you're closest to. Of course. Pain is a proximity practice.
Yeah.
You can add that to the stage and play yours. That whole video now.
We've got to reach those ridiculous, crazy Black men that did vote for Trump. We've got to reach those people.
This race will be far too close because, unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among Black and brown men, too. This happens to be a global phenomenon.
There you go. Black and brown men being fascists. Shame, though, can be an effective tactic, Douglas. Will it see Black and Hispanic voters switch back to the Democrats or perhaps stay home and not participate in the vote?
Well, you're right. Shame can be a useful tool, not necessarily when it's wielded by Joy Reid, for instance, you just saw there. Joy Reid called absolutely everybody a fascist. She's now on to...
Because I'm not really into the watching a bunch of white people. I'm not into a bunch of white people just bashing Black people. I don't like watching that particularly. That ain't how I get out personally. But shit happens. Yeah, I mean, there's those examples, and there's a lot more. There's the one that made all the news, the rounds the other day with Obama talking about how the Pookies and whatnot and the brothers need to get their shit together and stop acting like they can't be told what to do by a woman. Like anybody ever said that shit. Like, nigga, no, we just don't like to be told what to do, period. When you talking to a group of grown ass men, what makes you think that it's gonna be acceptable for them to just do whatever the fuck it is that you say to do? And they won't have the inclination of independence or their own mind to say, nah, I got a different way I'm gonna go about this. I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna say that there definitely is a narrative being put out there, but her particular comment, I don't think that fell. I don't think that was an intentional push on that narrative. Like, I don't think she did it to say like, hey, Negroes is crazy. Black men is crazy. You crazy for voting for Donald Trump.
Women be shopping.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know if it was an intentional slight. It might have been an unintentional slight. I don't know, but you don't think it's a slight at all, and that's cool.
No, I didn't say it wasn't. I just said I don't think there was malice in that particular statement.
Was it a slight or not, in your opinion?
Donald Trump.
All right, I guess if you want to call it that, yes.
No, I want to know what you would like to call it.
Motherfucker, I literally just said I didn't think that she's just intentionally calling niggas crazy just because they want to vote for Donald Trump. But she said niggas are crazy for voting for Donald Trump. I don't think. Again, now I get what Kamala is saying. Nigga, you know what the fuck I just said. You understand. You get the
Am
shit.
I right? You know. Am I right?
Right.
Oh,
Like, yes. There
See,
is a narrative being put out there. I don't think that she is intentionally pushing forward that narrative.
okay.
I don't
So
think that was her. I
you
don't think
don't
that was
think
her purpose.
you don't think it was a slight. That's okay to say.
Oh, all right. If that's
was
what
it?
you got out of that, yes.
This motherfucker won't say one way or another how he feel about some shit.
Nigga, I
Donald Trump.
literally just said it. Yes.
You think it's a slight? That's cool.
Like I said, I think it was
You,
from a
you,
place of
you
reverence.
it's eating you up. You want to say if that's what you think, if that's what you get out of it, nigga.
Yeah.
No.
It's from a place of reverence. I think it's from a place of being offended at the thought that someone of such ilk and such intellect would make such a deplorable decision. Now, for these other motherfuckers, I think the sister just wanted to see. This is the problem with all facets of pundits. We there was a moment in time where everybody had copy. And so you see the people would word for word say the same shit from beginning to end on different channels, different stations owned by different motherfuckers, different times of the day, different days, because they had a copy that was circulating about the story. They had to read from that copy. Now the pendulum has shifted into the complete other way where motherfuckers want to be so independent that people are, anytime a narrative arises, since they don't want to appear like it's copied, they try to invoke other words, other verbiage. But in doing that, sometimes you innately progress the narrative. Where you just wanted to call a nigga fast, now you're calling him other adjectives
They put too much juice on it.
putting too much judge on it. They done went from fucking crazy, ridiculous to fascist. See, you know what I'm saying? Because she didn't want to call him crazy, ridiculous, but she wanted verbiage of her own. So the black lady say fascist. Then the fucking Asian lady pick up on the fascist. Oh, black lady said it, so now it's fair game.
Mm-hmm.
She said what I admire her. She said exactly what her goal was: shame. And so in saying shame, what she's also saying is, I don't really have to be truthful. I'm trying to shame them. So running with the fascist narrative, though dangerous, if you could read between the lines, she's just spouting somebody else's rhetoric to shame a particular group into submission.
Along those lines, Charlemagne, he did an audio only, even though there was a video town hall, which is fucking weird. Like audio only, nigga, it's studio audience. I could see it. Anyway, in that interview, conversation, it wasn't a debate. Definitely was not a debate. He asked Kamala, he asked her about, he brought up the Barack Obama thing and him admonishing black men. And he acknowledged that, and he said, when is it Joe Biden and Bill Clinton's turn to point their finger at white men for voting for Donald Trump? When is Hillary Clinton going to get up and start pointing her finger at white women? When are the Latino members of the caucus going to start pointing at all of the Hispanics that vote for Trump? Why is it that the only group that gets the finger wagging are the black men? When is it the other group's turn? And she didn't really have a really good answer for that one. She kind of danced around it. She was like, I'm glad you asked that question. I have a coalition of a lot of Republicans out here. And Liz Cheney like me, right? You know that, right? That's cool. And I got a lot of former cabinet members of his and chiefs of staff. She said all kinds of shit other than yeah, they should get their finger wagged in their face too, just like black men do. Or black men don't get a finger wagged in their face. What are you talking about? That's not what the climate is in our campaign. We're not trying to point or try to scapegoat black men. She didn't say either one of those things.
The rich,
That would be
educated
nice.
brother from the bank, Kareem Akbar.
But what do you say to that question that where are the people pointing fingers at these other groups that vote against their own best interest, own self-interest rather, whatever you want to say it, and cast their ballot for Donald Trump?
They need to be talked about too.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
So we are getting talked about.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, cool. Yeah, all right. Just want to lock you down on that as much as I can.
Oh, you mean besides me saying that yes, there is a narrative being pushed about the black men being crazy for voting for Donald Trump? You mean you want to lock me in further besides me saying that exact sentence?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Didn't know we needed that much clarification. But all right. Yeah. Um they need to be admonishing the fuck out of them. Like, it definitely needs to fucking happen. But also, we need to talk. We need to be held accountable as well. And I ain't even mad at it. Hey, you first.
And it's the typical wag the dog.
I ain't mad at. Hey, we ain't gonna say shit about us. So you say something about yours.
Again, typical wag the dog. Let me subvert attention to a much less serious topic when we got so much shit we could be talking about. Like which white men? Then they gonna have to say which white man they talking about. All of them? Do they expect them to have zero voter base? Right. What the fuck are we saying?
Which white men? Those ones that purvey themselves to be free thinkers and shit. And then
but
the fake ass Mark Cubans.
But here's the problem with that inherently.
Is that your man?
Yes,
here's
here's my guy. All right, go ahead. My bad.
Here's the problem with that inherently. You're not going to talk to the chicken about wolves the same way you talk to the wolves about wolves. There's a reason they're talking to the chickens and saying, "Why the fuck are you voting for the wolves?"
True.
Why would they talk to the wolves about voting for the wolves? There's a reason they're talking about the chicken voting for the wolf. So then we can conflate the actual issue and why we ain't talking to the white man? What they expect them to have zero voter base? What exactly are we saying? That's again, wag the dog. We are diverting from a much more pressing topic, digging into the minutia of something, and diverting away from what actually should be talked about.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. We should hold those who claim to be our allies more accountable.
But again, you can't hold them from Trump's fucking camp. Those are our allies. So what are they asking people? What are they facetiously asking in that moment? Why ain't Bill Clinton speaking to who? Why ain't Hillary Clinton speaking to who?
White women that are voting against their interests.
It's
quick to tell black people that's in your interest if you got a this or that, or if you make this or you. I mean,
but what I'm saying is it's such a very small set. They are the people that's going to benefit from his policy. White men and white women. Their interests, social justice interests, they don't really believe when they go to sleep. He's going to benefit them, and that is in their best interest. Now, their political interests may outwardly appear to align somewhere else, but trust and believe their best interest aligns within. And Donald
Yeah.
Trump serves their best interest. So there's no reason for those two people that they called out to it. Those are the two motherfuckers that the white people, those are the two white motherfuckers that aren't on his side.
I get
But they
that.
don't talk to themselves. Hey, Jack.
Because if Bill Clinton was really voting his best interest, he would be voting for Trump.
So he's basically talking to himself. He's voting against his best interest to align with a party.
Mhm.
Unless they're well, what about those whose social or whose quote unquote beliefs
Again, our beliefs is one
you
thing.
think you
They're
feel
always going to align with the motherfucker who has their best interest at heart. And so they can outwardly spew this rhetoric to make them appear benevolent, altruistic. Oh yeah, Trump is gonna make me a billion gazillionaire, but he's racist. So I'm voting this way. His policy is gonna catapult my dividends into the stratosphere, but I'm voting this way. And they will literally vote that way, but it's all a sham, scam. It's all a political farce. It's all day theater. Why? That's what we ain't figured out. Because none of us win in the end. Like it. Well, I guess we do know why. Self-interest. They do this shit to keep themselves in power. Because once they figure out what they want to do, they want to be able to rein it in. If they relinquish any type of control, then by the time they figure out what nefarious purposes they have, they don't want to have to go back, get control, and then enact the nefarious purposes.
they want to make sure they get their shit right, and then
so they just make sure the water's always cloudy, just in case they want to pull some shit.
Yeah.
Keeping the water cloudy is a 25/8 job.
It's got to be just enough bullshit in the game to turn around if you need.
And they, like I said, and it's like they don't vote in their own build self-interest to appear a certain way, and that's clear.
All right, so
swag.
So is that also you think that could be partially due to the fact that they believe that no matter what, everything's coming up Millhouse?
I mean, shit, I think that would be a direct result of that.
It's like they know no matter what, they straight. That's the white privilege that people don't feel exist, or white people pretend don't exist, but they know it does. They just don't want to give it up. And
I mean, would you want to give it up? To be honest,
I wouldn't. I ain't mad at the resistance to it, but don't play in my face and pretend like we don't both know it's there.
Oh, yeah. What do you mean? Yeah, it just came out of nowhere for me.
Slavery was 160 years ago. I didn't do anything. If you can't get it now, it's on you. Everything's equal. Like acknowledge acknowledge it's there. And you don't even have to give it up for everybody to take part in it. Now that is a question. All right. Is it really privileged? Is everybody got it?
Yep.
Nope.
Huh?
Everybody got equality?
Yeah. Is it still privilege if everybody has the same advantages?
Yes. Yes. Because certain people could take it still. And the fact that you still have it is a privilege. Because people could take it. History showed you that. So every single person can have an apple in the whole world, one apple. And that is just a fucking privilege.
Because there could be no apples.
No, because a nigga could come take that one fucking apple for you if it wasn't laws. That's what laws come from. To preserve privilege.
True. All right.
That's it, to preserve fucking privilege. Because if there was no laws, people would take your privilege from you.
Yeah.
They only make the laws after they finish getting their shit off.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
You can't do that. No, you can't just shoot motherfuckers no more. Hold on.
The time for just taking things is over with.